The next coach on the teleconference is Illinois' John Groce. The Illini are 13-8 overall and 3-5 in Big Ten play. Illinois will host Penn State on Saturday. Coach Groce, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Please start us out with some opening comments, and then we'll open it up for questions, please.
Well, obviously, weeks went by since the last one, and we had another split. I thought that, in the Purdue game, the last 28 minutes of the game, I thought we played with a lot of toughness and had great energy. I thought that was really good. I thought we really played our defense very, very well for that 28 minutes, and then, obviously the disappointing thing is I did not think we defended nearly as well on Saturday in Minneapolis. I just thought we gave up too much on second chance points, made too many errors there in the second half. I thought a couple of the medias went deep, and they were a little bit tougher than us during those stretches, and we got no excuse with that. We've got to be a little bit tougher there, find a way to fight a little bit harder. Offensively, we weren't great necessarily in either game, although I thought we were better offensively in Minneapolis on Saturday. I thought the ball moved better. I thought Jalen Tate, 9 assists, 0 turnovers against a team that's one of the best in the country at forcing turnovers, was tremendous. Thought he played a great floor game and really defended well. Thought we got great play from Maverick Morgan off the bench. Unfortunately, our scorers and shot makers did not make shots in the game on Saturday. I thought we had some pretty good ones and didn't convert them. But I'm more into the things that you can control, and that's our toughness and our effort. And I just thought it was exceptional against Purdue for the bulk of the game, and then I didn't think it was nearly as good on Saturday. Questions?
Thank you, Coach. Let's go straight to questions, please, Darla.
If you'd like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Your first question comes from the line of Teddy Greenstein with Chicago Tribune.
Hey, Coach, a year ago was that press conference that Kane Coulter had about unionization, and it just seems like there's been a lot of progress made in the NCAA since then with, guaranteed 4-year scholarships and, parents being able to be reimbursed for big games. What are the biggest ones in your mind? What reforms have you seen that you really like?
Well, I don't know if it's, Teddy, if it's one that just stands out, to be honest with you. I think it's more of a, collective effort by everybody to look at this thing and take a look at what's best for the student athlete, whether it's, reimbursement of money, whether it's medical insurance, whether it's 4-year scholarships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think there's necessarily one that stands out, in my opinion. I mean, I think it's an overall kind of, hey, let's look at this thing, through the eyes of what's best for the student athlete. I think we've certainly done that before, but I think, maybe that brought more attention to it and really kind of got everybody to kind of take a deep breath, say, okay, let's really look at this thing and see what makes sense. I think that, to me, is more of what I got from it than anything else.
Is there anything you really still want to get for your guys? Anything that you can think of that's very important?
Well, I mean, I think, obviously, whatever phrase you want to use, cost of attendance, I think that's coming down the pike. I do. I think that's heading in that direction. They've obviously medical insurance, reimbursement, for travel in some situations there. I mean, all those things are good and certainly benefit the student athlete, and I think have a great deal of common sense. So, not necessarily one that comes to mind in terms of, that's not being addressed currently.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Your next question comes from the line of Marcus Jackson with Champaign News-Gazette.
Morning, John.
Morning.
I wonder what the schedule's going to be for you guys. What are you going to focus on, and what these next few days are going to be like for you?
Well, ourselves here today and tomorrow. We took yesterday off, then we're going to take Wednesday off again. We're taking 2 days off this week. We had 3 games in 6 days last week, which was a tough stretch, and I wanted to make sure they got a couple days here to gather themselves mentally, physically, emotionally. In addition to that, we did not take a day off last week, which you're allowed to do when you have situations where you do have extenuating circumstances like 3 games in 6 days. So, that means you have to take 2 off in an adjacent week, the week prior or the week post. So we're choosing to take it in the week post, which is this week, and it makes a lot of sense with our week off. And so we're going to be smart about how we work, but we got to get better. I mean, we've got to get more consistent on the defensive end. I think we've got to be a lot tougher on that end, and then continuing to work some of our execution on the offensive end as well. So it gives us the first chance we've really had in a long time, Marcus, to kind of take a. You still there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
Marcus, you there?
I'm there. You there, John?
Yeah, I am. It's still the first chance we've had in a long time here, because we've usually had, at least 2 games, if not 3 games, over a 7 or 8 day period here for a long time. So it gives us a chance, I think, to kind of reevaluate, hit the reset button a little bit, address some things here today and tomorrow that can make us better.
Thanks, John.
Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought it was a good bounce-back game for us, just because I thought LaRon Black and Egwu played so much harder, not just our big guys, but everybody. And they were down and out with losing all the guys that they've lost, from Tracy Abrams to Ravonte Rice to Aaron Cosby. And I thought that getting Black in there and playing more minutes what was the key to the game. I thought he was great. I thought he played really hard. I thought we played harder in the Iowa game until the shot went up.
The next coach on the teleconference is Penn State's Patrick Chambers. The Nittany Lions are 13-7 on the season and 1-6 in the Big Ten. Penn State will host Minnesota on Wednesday before traveling to Illinois on Saturday. Coach Chambers, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing very well. Provide a couple opening comments, please, and then we'll
go straight to questions. It was nice to put a complete game together on Saturday. Proud of our resiliency and our group, that they just stayed persistent and trying to get better. And I thought we did a good job defensively and did a good job rebounding the ball and really shared it on the offensive end. Obviously, making shots kind of cures a lot of things. But I felt like we finally put a 40-minute game together, and we were due. First 6 games we've been so close, but we haven't got over that hump, and I think we finally got over the hump. So we look forward to the next challenge Wednesday night against Minnesota, but I'm excited about the direction of where we're headed.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go straight to questions, please.
If you'd like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Your first question comes to the line of Marcus Fuller with the Pioneer Press.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Can you just talk about, obviously, the Ross Travis, one of your front court players, veteran front court players, and what he's meant to the team? And obviously, he seems to step his game up when he plays his home state school.
Yeah, I mean, Ross is a senior. He's been with us for 4 years now. He's been very loyal, very committed. I mean, he's going to finish top 5, maybe even top 3 in the history of Penn State basketball in rebounding, and that's a 118-year history. So, I mean, to say that somebody went out and just focused on defending and rebounding the way Ross has and committed to it, I mean, is critical for our team, especially when we're not a great rebounding team. He understands what he has to do. So he's meant a lot to our locker room, his leadership, and he's really helped the younger guys out. So Ross has done a good job, really good job. Obviously, we're down the home stretch here, so we're really going to miss him.
Thank you.
Once again, if you'd like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Your next question comes from the line of Teddy Greenstein with Chicago Tribune.
Hey, Coach. Just about a year ago was that Kane Coulter press conference where he, was pushing for unionization. In the year since, it seems like there's been a lot of progress made, with meals and concussion protocol and a lot of different things. What do you think of that? Do you think that was a catalyst for change, and what do you think of some of the changes?
Oh, wow. Man, you're jogging my memory here. I like, obviously I like everything that's going on with the protocols and the meals and everything, the NCAA has done to try to make this better for student athletes. So, I mean, everything that they talked about, it's being executed. As far as our training's been great. We're overly cautious, but I think it's smart to do that to protect these student athletes and their careers and their future. So I think everybody's on board. So obviously it's worked, and it's definitely helping.
Anything that you're hoping comes in the next, year or two, something you want to see for you guys?
Well, I haven't put much thought into it, to be honest with you, recently because we finally got our first win, so I've been enamored with trying to get this team better. But nothing comes to mind right now.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, you talked a little bit about the defensive effort in the win over the weekend, but talk a little bit about what you guys did on offense, 18 assists on 29 field goals. What was working so well from an efficiency standpoint?
Yeah, when you're making shots, things look better. You share the ball more. I thought our guys were second cutting, moving without the basketball. Started to trust each other. I think that would probably be the core things, the trust out there on the floor of making that extra pass and getting that open shot. It always benefits things. And obviously getting to the free throw line, which we really struggled in doing, that helped us out as well.
We got time for one more question, please, Darla.
Your next question comes from the line of Marcus Fuller with the Pioneer Press.
Hi, Coach. Another question. I know the game at Penn State versus Minnesota last year, surprisingly, Newble went scoreless in that game. And he's been on a tear in the Big Ten this year, and obviously I think he bounced back from that one. Can you just talk about teams, obviously trying to take him out of your offense and how you found ways to make sure that he gets his touches and just to prove that he's made this year as a scorer?
What I would tell you is he's really efficient in his approach, and he's very selfless on the floor. I think he was 8 for 12 last game. Even when he's taken over 20 shots, it's been very efficient from 2. I mean, he takes what the defense is going to give him. We try to put him in position to be successful. We move him around on the floor constantly. We try to be a little bit deceptive so other teams' opponents don't know where the dribble handoff's coming or their ball screen coming or maybe an ISO's coming. So we try to disguise things as best as we can, but he's doing most of the work by reading the defense and taking what the defense has given him. And I think his mid-range game has been really outstanding, and his floater is something that we've worked on for the last 4 years, and he's got great confidence in it now. And he takes very good, for the most part, he takes very good threes. He's not going to take any difficult threes unless it's the end of the shot clock and he's got to throw one up there. But for the most part, he's really efficient in his approach and how he handles his business on the offensive end. And I think our defense really helped him out last game. He got some easy ones. He got some offensive rebound. He got some layups. So as long as he keeps mixing some things up, I think that keeps the opponents off balance because every team is geared to stop him.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Take care.
Talk to you next week.